Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Another year of a virtual night celebrating our COT students is not exactly what we had hoped for or what we had planned through the year. But the decision was made to honor our seniors so that they can experience a live graduation, which is a monumental event in most teens' lives. The last 14 months have been interesting, to say the least. And with any crisis, there is opportunity. And I hope that is what you have gained through your time with us at COT, that this crisis provided you with different opportunities that perhaps you would not have seen or experienced. This virus may have stolen your senior or junior year, or your freshman year, or your sophomore year, but it cannot and will not steal your future. You are joining a world where you can learn from every job experience. Every job, whether good or bad, prepares you for the work you were ultimately born to do. Your dream job is likely not the one you dreamed about today. So often we end up in amazing careers that have nothing to do with our college degree or our childhood dreams. While you will always remember this pandemic and its impact on your lives and the lives of those close to you, I hope that you are also the generation that doesn't take anything for granted. You know what it's like to have something taken away from you in a moment's time. And as a result, you will appreciate what you have when you have it. You'll value your relationships, make the most of your opportunities, and create a great future. I know it's easy to be bitter about what happened, but you get to choose your outcome. Don't look backwards, look forward. Work hard, and believe the best is yet to come. What you believe will determine what you create for your life. What now will follow is a few words from each of your instructors, followed by the announcements of the scholarship awards, and we will end with our keynote speaker, which is a nice surprise and is one of your own.
Good evening. I'd like to, number one, start by celebrating the class of 2021. I'm very proud of the class that we had in manufacturing technology. My name is Mark Cataret. I am the instructor. The focus of the manufacturing class is actually precision machining, and I have to say there's a couple students in this class who have very much increased their skill set. As I think back over the year, I'm thankful that I was able to share the skill set that these students will probably use if they choose to go to work in this particular field. I'm very proud of Jaron Durkee, Stephen Thurlow, Kobe Weinstein, Thomas Golden, Tyler Bishop, Justin Mazzicato, Miles Woodworth, especially proud of Brady Kaler. Brady has been with me for 3 years. Brady happens to be the student that I nominated for my most improved student. We'd like to recognize that as an outstanding student of the year. My fondest memory, guys, is going to have to be our rocket project. So SpaceX, move over, because this rocket is pretty impressive. Thank you, class of 2021.
Hello, my name is Tracy Collins, and I'm the Biddeford Career Pathways Coordinator. I work across the district from middle school through adult education on workforce needs. Among the many roles I have here in the district, my favorite part of my job is working with my career development program. Some of you may be familiar with the term co-op. Essentially, this means my students are learning while earning on the job, be it in a volunteer project or internship out in the community. These opportunities are often paid, which means your student has been learning while earning money, experience, and credentials. And while they may be learning technical skills as an electrician, a heavy equipment operator, or in an intensive business program, when they're with me, they're working on their employability skills that distinguish them from other candidates entering the workforce. We do this by asking 3 critical questions. Who am I? Where do I want to go? And how am I going to get there? In short, your students have not only mastered the technical skills in their individual craft, but they've also gained the communications and self-advocacy skills that will make them exceptional candidates for any employer. They have a career plan. And this year, they did it while working in a pandemic. But it wasn't all work. One of my favorite memories of this year was our teamwork unit, when you had to build and collaborate in a survival game. As a team, you built a shelter out of marshmallows and pasta. There were some sticky teamwork situations sometimes. Remember when you picked our director to allow you to go visit Catalyst for Change? You wanted to go out and see a real business in the midst of a pandemic. You used your problem-solving and persuasive skills to propose a plan to Ms. Bono to allow you to visit a real-life business while making a difference. And yes, we signed a COVID waiver. Or what about the time we played career charades? You not only imagined your future vision for yourselves, you discovered how stepping out of your comfort zone is the most important way to learn and challenge yourself. Did I mention you have a career plan? And a budget for living in your first apartment with roommates. And even in the pandemic, at some point in this year, all 5 of you were working up to 24 hours a week and earning 350 credit hours to graduate, while also earning a dual enrollment with SMCC. I want to announce my Student of the Year. This young lady in our program has pushed herself always to achieve excellence, maintaining a 4.0 and being the only student to complete every single assignment. I'm so proud of Caitlin Halley and our Career Development Student of the Year. Congratulations, Caitlin, and the entire class. And so without further ado, I'm happy to announce the graduates of Career Development. Garrett Tukui will enter Thomas College in the fall, majoring in business. Caitlin Halley is going to UMaine Orono. Owen Johnson is headed to St. Mary's in Santa Clara to major in business. Michael Riley is headed off to join his employer, Seth McCoy, where he will continue his training in heavy equipment. And Jaden Valley will continue working with BH Milliken this summer while studying electrical at SMCC next fall. Congratulations, guys.
My name is Matt Laney, and I'm the computer technology instructor. And it's been my privilege to work with these students throughout the entire school year. Some of these students, like Mohammed Hashim, has been in class with me for 4 years, Ethan Moulton for 3 years, and the rest of them 1 or 2 years. But it's been a pleasure working with them, and I will miss most of them tremendously. The others I will have back next year. We started the year learning how to count all the way from 0 to 1. And then we learned how to compare letters and numbers so that 15 actually equals F. Then we talked about the 4 components of a computer. We developed some mobile apps. We've programmed in Python. We've worked in databases. We edited Ernest Shackleton's book, South, which I know was a wonderful project for most of the students. And we're finishing up this year fixing over 72 Chromebooks for the school district. And I know the students would not want me to leave out the fact that we worked on Test Out for our CompTIA certifications for the better part of the year. The graduating students, the students who are leaving the program this year, are Mohammed Hashim, Coley Hatt, Ethan Moulton, Bryce Newton, Jacob Hetoin, Ben Perry, Alex Rennie, Cody Savage, and Matt Talmont. And this year, for my outstanding student, I have chosen Ben Perry, who's a senior at Old Orchard Beach High School, who will be going to York County Community College to study computer science. Ben's attitude was amazing throughout the entire year. He was willing to take on any challenge. When I put a MacBook in front of him and I said, you know what, I think I'd like you to learn Swift and Xcode, and I'll see you in the spring, he took that MacBook and he made it happen. He submitted an iPhone app to the Tyler Tech app challenge this year, and it was accepted by the judges, which was one of the first for us. And so Ben, thank you for being an amazing student this year, and thank you to all of my students for being amazing students and making this year, which is memorable for all of us for other reasons, memorable for good reasons as well. Thank you.
My name is Fred Jokinen, and I am the plumbing and heating instructor at the COT. I'm a master plumber by trade, and just about to wrap up my first year of teaching. The plumbing program It's a 2-year program that prepares the students for a career in the plumbing trade. Upon completion, the students are awarded credit hours that can be used towards their licensure with the state. This year we have 4 students that are completing the course. First, we have Bill Strong from Kennebunk High School. Bill has already secured a job in the pipe trades, and I wish him the best of luck as he begins his professional career. He is always eager to complete the hands-on portion of the lesson, and I'm confident that he will do well in the field. Next, we have Colby Brown from Kennebunk High School. Colby has excelled in the hands-on learning and is always up for a challenge. I encourage Colby to stay in the trade and maintain his go-getter attitude as he works toward accumulating hours towards his license. Moving on to Spencer. Spencer Hutchinson is also graduating from Kennebunk High School. Spencer impressed me by diligently completing all of his assignments, providing help within the classroom, and he also exceeded expectations by completing extra assignments. Last but not least, we have Ethan. Ethan Hood is graduating from Thornton Academy. Ethan is a very hard-working team player. Over the last half of the year, Ethan has proved he has a solid understanding of the trade, and he has a great potential for a successful career in the plumbing industry. One of the highlights of the year was roughing in the piping for the concession building at the Doran Field. This was a great opportunity for the students to apply their skills in the real world. It also provided a good example in how we need to work as a team and coordinate with other trades. Please join me in congratulating these program completers and wishing them a successful future. I would like to next talk about selecting the Student of the Year for the plumbing program. The Student of the Year is a first-year student, Ryan Nason. Ryan was named the Student of the Year in my plumbing program because he consistently demonstrated a willingness to learn, completes his work on time, and he also sets a good example for the rest of the students. Please join me in congratulating Ryan. He did a great job this year, and I look forward to having him in my program next year.
Good evening. My name is Richard Willett, and I am the Electrical Technology Instructor at the Biddeford Regional Center of Technology. This year's graduating class is comprised of 8 students. They are Drew Bovair, Joseph Labby, Montgomery C. Leclerc, Trevor Willett, Brian Perrell, Riley Tebow, Bryce Toppin, Jaden Valley, and Caleb Vijay, who is also my pick for the Student of the Year. Caleb has performed in an exemplary manner for the entire time he's been my student. He has had a perfect attendance record and completes all assignments in a timely manner. And more importantly, you can count on Caleb being a man of his word. He always follows through with what he says he will do. I found Caleb to be a very honest and forthright person and will be a valuable asset for any company he decides to work for. I'm glad that these students have persevered in very trying times. It hasn't been easy. With hybrid learning, the students only received a third of the time in class compared to before COVID, which meant there was more work required from them to succeed. There is no shortcut to learning the necessary electrical theory, and this time competed with the lab time the students needed to complete the hands-on portion of the course. It became a very delicate balancing act. They have performed well and completed the required work. I wish them success in their future endeavors. It was a pleasure to have met and taught these students. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Adam Wilder. I teach a 2-year welding program at the Biddeford Regional Center of Technology. The 2021 graduates of the welding program include Ryan Guillermo, Chance Hill, David Robertson, Dakota Senesel, Garrett Small, and Mitchell Thibodeau. At first, I didn't really know what to think of what would be the 2021 welding class. Your group was a bit smaller, containing 11 students. You appeared to mostly come from different backgrounds. A few of you were rather outspoken, while much of you were rather reserved in nature. Unfortunately, 4 of the students from your class either graduated, moved on to different majors, or moved away with their families during the first year. As we moved into the second year, I started to learn that the class of 2021 was a bit different from the other classes that had gone through my program prior. you are tighter. Throughout this year, there have been absolutely no conflicts of interest amongst any of you. You all respected each other and continuously worked together, helping each other along through this tough year. You all brought something into the group. Ryan Guillermo, with his big smile and brief funny comments behind what appeared to be an oversized mask, always made all of us smile. Chance Hill, with his relaxed, witty phrases, always helped the mood as well. Dakota Senecell's comical character made him the voice of the class. Garrett Small, despite his wacky sense of humor, helped to set the tone, displaying a thoughtful, considerate, understanding side to everyone in there. Mitchell Thibodeau. Mitchell Thibodeau's quiet, observant temperament was essential for helping all of us maneuver around many obstacles. He was calm, methodical, and when pushing through the math part of the curriculum, Mitchell even helped me in a few places where I got bogged down with the numbers. David Robertson was always in the background helping everyone along, especially preparing for the AWS Welding Certification test over the past month. He provided both advice, encouragement to everyone on the techniques they should need to pass the stressful, difficult hands-on trial. David also helped me preparing everyone's completed practice pieces to be tested in order to help everybody see where they were on the way to being prepared for the day of this examination. All of this along with high grades and a natural ability to adequately perform the various welding techniques learned during this year earned David the Student of the Year award. Good work, David. Welding is a difficult, sometimes frustrated, repetitive trade to master. In 2021, students helped each other along, both in the class and during the time in the lab. You all even went as far as to work together, making phone calls to locate someone who was late in order to have the class move on together daily throughout the curriculum. The class of 2021 even agreed to start 20 minutes early each morning in an attempt to make up for lost time due to COVID-19. You all know that there will be topics. They all knew that there were topics that still needed to be covered. Topics that they would need to be familiar with to help as they went out into the welding field. Let me finish by saying, looking back, I will always remember the Sebago Lake incident, Ryan's Texas weaves, and the singing to those ridiculous country songs that you all blurt on the radio daily. And I'm not a country fan. But I sang with you anyway. As a whole, you're all by far the tightest, most considered group to come through my program so far. You are all more than capable of being successful in life. Please keep in touch. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Mr. Wales, the Auto Body Technology Instructor at the Center of Technology. Class of 2021, you guys have been remarkable. This past school year has been a year of uncertainty and change, and all of you should be very proud of your accomplishments. I know that I am. This year's seniors include Vincenzo Balsamo, Vinny. You have grown in all aspects this year, from dependability, communication, maturity, and of course improvements in your auto body skills. Colby Giroux, I will always remember your perseverance in dealing with the difficulties you have faced the last 2 years. You have shown great strength in achieving the success that you have upon graduation. Aaron Leary, if it can be done, you're the one to do it. I don't think there was much that you didn't do the past 2 years at the COT, and thank you for being the go-to guy. Ryan Littlefield, thanks for always being willing to accept whatever was asked of you, and for always looking to complete it the best possible way. Jared Olmsted, your ability in the lab has grown a tremendous amount in your time here, and you're showing a great amount of confidence in your abilities to complete repairs. First year senior Aiden Scammon, you have shown a great amount of ability, and you just came to this program for 1 year with a great attitude, always looking to learn the trade. It gives me great pleasure to announce this year's 2021 Auto Body Student of the Year. Some words I'd like to use to describe this student is responsible, hardworking, considerate, respectful, creative, and the go-to guy. Congratulations, Erin Leary from Thornton Academy High School. To all of my 2021 graduates, thank you for giving me the privilege of being your instructor. Best of luck to everyone in the future. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Todd Martin. I'm the automotive technology instructor here at BRCOT. This past year has presented many obstacles in teaching, and learning, and life in general. I'd like to thank my senior class this year for all their hard efforts in getting through this and doing well in the program despite these many obstacles. This year's class is the following names are Jesse Adler, Anthony Sear, Baitian Dayton, Ethan Hutchinson, Daniel Sheltra, Nicholas Therian, and Timothy Trott. During their time in COT, all our students in the programs, habits of work is stressed as part of their training. This year's Student of the Year in Automotive Technology is Daniel Sheltra. Daniel Sheltra exemplifies many of the attributes of the habits of work that we stress within the automotive program and here at COT. Daniel came each day with a positive attitude towards what he was working on in the program. Almost perfect attendance throughout the year, and any work that he completed was of the highest standard. Again, I'd like to thank the class of 2021 for all their efforts during these trying times. Thank you.
First of all, I would like to commend each and every one of you for staying with your program at Biddeford Regional Center of Technology during this difficult year. My name is Mary Maxfield, and I am the instructor of 2 education classes here at BRCOT, both which are one-year programs and are made up of juniors and seniors from area schools. My morning class is Introduction to Education. I had a great bunch of students this year, and I enjoyed the many classroom discussions that occurred. They all received their American Heart Certification for First Aid, Infant, Child, and Adult CPR. The class looked at the field of education in general. We covered the history of education, human development, from preschool age through the teen years, as well as the diverse learners that could be in a classroom. Educational theories, the techniques in lesson planning, and classroom management. We are finishing the year with the many challenges teachers face. I believe it is important that while teaching is a fulfilling career, like with any career, there are challenges that come with it. The students realize that there are many different roles and responsibilities for those who work in the field of education. Luckily, the students were able to have some hands-on experience working with children. Since they were able to independently get to and from various locations, they were all able to go out into the community and work with children. One student spent time in a child care classroom working with 3-year-olds. The remaining students were in public schools. They were in a pre-K, first grade, second grade, third grade, and 2 students were in 4th grade classrooms. Not only did they have the opportunity to work one-on-one with children, they also were able to teach a lesson. Reading about teaching in a book is very different than actually being in front of a class of children. It is something they will not forget. They also had the opportunity to see how Zooming is with children from the teacher's perspective when their internship site was remote after April vacation. They all agreed that it was difficult and would not like to teach that way over a long period of time. Now I would like to announce the names of the students receiving a certificate this year. Caitlin Bean, Taylor Bolio, Dahlia Jordan, Amaya Libby, Kristen Moulton, Chelsea Powers, and Grace Summer. The student receiving my Outstanding Student of the Year is one who has gone over and above everything that was asked of her. While on her internship, she arrived early and stayed late. She even brought material home to work on to help out her supervising teacher. This year's Outstanding Student for the class Introduction of Education goes to Grace Summer. Congratulations, Grace. And don't forget, ladies, to make sure you always remember how to play the game, card game, golf. My afternoon class is teaching and early education. These students also received their first aid and CPR certifications. With hybrid learning, it took some time to get all the skills in, but they all persevered. Students spend time during the year discovering how young children learn and develop. While it may look like children are just playing, they are actually growing in all areas of their development: physical, cognitive, and social emotional. Due to the hybrid schedule, students would spend half their time at home and join class via Zoom. Everyone found it difficult and was glad when they were able to be in person 4 days a week. I want to thank all my students as they were very patient with me and my non-technical skills. The most exciting thing this class is the opportunity for students to work with preschool-age children. The children, ages 3 to 5, attend Mother Goose here at the school. Usually the children start mid-October. However, this year, the children did not start until March, and then there were certain protocols that had to be put in place. Parents were not allowed into the building. Children had to have their temperature taken, and the children all had to wear masks. Usually the children are present 4 days a week for 2 hours a day. When the children started in March, we were only able to get 2 days a week due to the high school student schedule. Once the high school students started attending 4 days a week, we were able to add on 1 day. Another challenge we faced was the times for children to be here. We typically have children for 2 hours a day, with time before they arrive for the high school students to prep the room. However, this year, COT's schedule was only 1 hour and 45 minutes. The students agreed that some of them were able to arrive early and others could stay late, so we were able to have the children attend from 12:25 to 2:25. Now I would like to announce the names of the students receiving a certificate this year. Monica Buffin, Stephanie Dion, Jaheem Franklin, Ariana Hilton, Catherine Holt, Mariah Lambert, Hannah Lovejoy, Hannah Maycumber, Lindsay McFarland, Melissa Pelletier, Emily Ritchie, and Haley Russell. The student receiving my Outstanding Student of the Year is someone who is always willing to help her classmates. She arrived early and did whatever was needed before class technically started. When the preschool started, she would be the one to take the children's temperature and even show others, including me, how to use the thermometer. She was the first one to teach the preschool and with very little notice to prepare. This meant that she did a lot of planning and prep at home so as to be ready for when the children arrived. This year's Outstanding Student for the class Teaching and Early Education goes to Melissa Pelletier. Congratulations, Melissa, and congratulations to all students that are graduating this year. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brian Mayorino, and I'm the proud instructor of the Business Leadership Program here at the Biddeford Center of Technology. Before I get started talking about the program and the students, I want to emphasize that in my 10 years of teaching both at the high school and the college level, that these are some of the most well-rounded, strong students in terms of what they produced for content and material. The Business Leadership Program is associated with York County Community College, and all of my students are very fortunate that they are receiving college credit. Of the students who are program completers, many of them have been with me for 2 years, and some have only been with me for 1 year, but during that 1 year they worked very hard to earn many college credits. So I'd like to take a minute and recognize my business leadership student completers, which means that they have taken at least 2 or more classes with me, of which they have passed and earned college credit for. Many students have earned upwards of 15 credits, and I even have one student who has earned 18 credits and achieved the Small Business Management Certificate at York County Community College. My program completers include Alex McAlevey, Brielle Eon, Caitlin Holly, Matt LaFlum, Mitchell Labby, Mohammed Mushari, Nick Reisfelder, Renee Dutremble, Sam Basile, and Quinn McCullum. While I'm very proud of those students, again, many of who I've had for more than 1 year, there's one particular student who really stands out amongst the crowd. Matt LaFlum is the Business Leadership Student of the Year, and the reason for that is because of how he presented himself this year. Matt, during the majority of the school year, was a remote student, and towards the end of the year, when students were allowed to return back to school full-time, Matt decided that he no longer wanted to be remote and quickly reached out to me to see what he had to do in order to return. It wasn't only this instance of taking the initiative that impressed me, but it was also the quality of his content. What he produced throughout the year was upwards of similar content I would see and expect from previous junior level college students that I taught at the University of Rhode Island. I'm very excited to see what Matt will do in the future. I know he'll do great things, and without a doubt he deserves this recognition. I look forward to seeing what all of my students do, and I'm very proud of all of you. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is Maureen Redmond. I am the Business Academy instructor for Legal Studies and Intro to Business. Despite a very challenging year, I'm extremely proud of all my students for powering through to the end of the year, most of them earning college credits. Congratulations to the following program completers for Legal Studies: Mark Butts, Melindy Martel, Tommy Gonville, Devin Perez, Ashley Lightfoot, Lily Carson, Jenna Johnson, Izzy White, Jenna LaValle, and Alana Ireland. The program completers for our first year new program, Intro to Business: Logan Bean, Leslie McCabe, and Eric Havasi. The next designation is for the Outstanding Student of the Year Award. For Legal Studies, congratulations go to Jenna LaValle. Jenna, you've done a phenomenal job all year. It's very well deserved. The Outstanding Student of the Year for Intro to Business is Logan Bean. Logan came out of the gate a little tentative, but has excelled ever since. I'm proud of you all. You'll do great things. Thank you, parents and supporters.
Medical assisting, another quick memory is, yes, we can go for a walk. The students and I often would go for a walk between the two blocks of classes, and it became a routine. So students would come in and they would say, "Can we go for a walk today?" If it was nice out and not raining, we usually went for a walk. My program completers for medical assisting are Joshua Alvarez, Kiera Bouchard, Dadrian Brown, Anna Fomenko, Chloe Lemerin, Carly Lovejoy, Lauren Tragner, Nicholas Warren Southwick, and Victoria Waterhouse. My outstanding student of the year for medical assisting is Dadrian Brown. Dadrian works hard, is always on time, and is a leader in the classroom. She may be quiet, but she studies hard, typically knows the answer to my questions. Congratulations to all of my seniors and all of my juniors. Thank you. My Introduction to Medical Science program completers are Julian Toussault, Samaya Gassad, Vanessa Hale, William Harriman, Nicole Lacklade, Cassidy LaFlum, Valentina LaFlum, Christian LaFrance, Malika New, Isabella Casada, Kiara Roach, John Walker, and Jamie Walton. My outstanding student of the year for Introduction to Medical Science, it was not an easy decision, but this student was always on time for class. Her assignments were always in on time. She asked many questions, sometimes more than once, but I bet most of the students didn't forget the answer to those questions. Jamie Walton, always ask questions because your questions are other people's questions. They just may be too afraid to ask them. Keep working hard and keep smiling.
Good evening. First, I want to say congratulations to the class of 2021. I also want to say that I'm the new guy, if you haven't figured that one out already. So I'm taking over the program after Ms. Nielsen had to leave. And I am a certified paramedic and EMS instructor. Emergency medical services to me is a special field. It's been my career for 30 years and leads to emergency medical technician certification if one chooses, and can continue on to other programs in emergency medical services, including paramedic. Not to mention being, what I always tell the students, invaluable experience for those that are entering nursing, physician, and other allied health fields. I often say that I'm blessed to be able to teach others to save lives. I know this year has been a challenge, especially in preparing for the state practical exam, but challenges are good, and they strengthen us and make us learn to persevere in the face of difficulties. This is an admirable trait for those who will treat and care for others in a healthcare setting or emergency medical services. So this leads me to our program completers for the year. Their names are up here, so I'll read them from there. David Anderson, Amy Dan, Brooklyn Goodwin, Ethan McLean, Serena Volk, Kaya Bernard Rosado, Emma Byers, Sophia Lamar, Faith Michkowski, Nicolina Nikolic, Sean Salazar, and Tamika Slade. They've done a tremendous job, and I know this was a difficult time for students this year, but they've persevered and done very well in my class, and I'm very proud of that. That leads me to our Student of the Year, Amy Dan. So I came in only within the last month as a new instructor, so I can honestly say I don't know her incredibly well, but I did discuss quite a bit with the prior instructor, and we both agreed that Amy is a very conscientious student. She's helpful, she's always on task, and I've noticed that myself within the short time that I've been here. She is headed for a nursing program in her future, and based on her thorough approach to her work, I know she'll be a resounding success. I look forward to seeing her bright future treating patients, and I wish all my students good luck. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Deb Hapgood. I teach 2 sections of Health Assistance CNA. I'd like to start with my morning program. One of the things I greatly appreciate about them is, although they only met each other in person after 2/3 of the year had gone by, they really did a nice job of coming together as a group. And also as a group, they're incredibly kind and compassionate. I've had 2 residents at Seal Rock commend my students in saying that they love Wednesdays because they know that they're going to have kind and compassionate care from my students. So I'm very proud of them for that. My afternoon students also are kind and compassionate. And the thing that I really appreciate about them is they came in every day with a smile on their face, eager to be there and ready to work. And on top of that, they would have great attention to detail. There were many times that I put the wrong thing in Google Classroom, either the wrong due date or what have you, and they're very good about saying, Mrs. Hapgood, did you know? It was always polite, and I greatly appreciate them keeping me on task. I would like to congratulate the following students who are receiving health assistance certificates: Emily Eli, Maggie Hamilton Farley, Emma Horton, Kaya Mosher, Taylor Simmons, Jules Sylvia, Catherine Twombly, Lydia Zook, Benjamin Bolduc, Kelly Dang, Hannah Levitt, and Saida Malia Reda. My outstanding student for the morning group is Emily Eli. She is a highly motivated student who always goes above and beyond. She has a positive attitude and is quick to volunteer anyone that needs help, either in the classroom or in the clinical setting. And she's a natural in the clinical setting. After 40 hours of clinical experience, she's in there just like a pro. So congratulations, Emily. My outstanding student for the afternoon program is Malia Reda. She's a very motivated young lady, and she's incredibly pleasant to talk to. Everyone, she gets along really well with her classmates, and I can always count on her to know the answers to the lesson quiz questions, which sometimes can be difficult, but she does an excellent job with that. And she also chose to challenge herself further by taking the SMCC, medical terminology class. Congratulations to Malia. Congratulations to all my students, and you will be missed.
Hello, my name is Mr. Driscoll. I teach engineering and architectural design. I've been blessed to have such a fine group of young adults to work with this year. I'm so impressed with their attendance, work ethic, and positive attitude. I want to recognize the graduates for their hard work. You've become skilled computer-aided design operators, and I look forward to hearing about your successes moving forward. Following students are receiving certificates: Joshua Paquette, Kenneth Boltadano, Darian McClaskey, Ryan Pendleton, Emily Poisson, Nicholas Reisfelder, Amir Sedekmatov, Alana Chevenel, Mason Littlefield, Joshua McCauley. The Engineering Student of the Year is Silas Delano. Silas has consistently completed work ahead of schedule this year and has excellent attendance. He was the lead designer on the Biddeford Meeting House project. Silas will be attending Embry-Riddle and Daytona Beach to become a pilot. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mr. Hapgood. All of you who know me know that I'm a fairly chatty sort. But believe it or not, this format where I'm speaking to a camera is really not my comfort zone, so please bear with me. I teach the residential carpentry program. I'm going to go through the business first. And the first person I'd like to mention is a gentleman by the name of Hezekiah Haddock. Hezi is only a one-year student with me. He's a senior. He's graduating this year. Fantastic individual, and it's just too bad I didn't get a chance to spend a couple of years with you, Hezi. Just a fine young man, and he's going to be successful in any endeavor. My second-year class, we've been together for 2 years, obviously, and the graduate completers there are Dominic Avalon, Cole Butt, Andrew Sharon, Zach Hayford, Quentin Mahout, Caden Neves, Jack Smith. Now, normally I wouldn't have to look at a piece of paper to be able to reel off your names, but that's how paranoid I am about this whole camera thing. And to complete the business, the outstanding student for the second-year group is Andrew Sharon. And it's self-explanatory. You guys know him. He's there every day. He works hard. He makes the connections. He's just a fantastic individual, fantastic peer, fantastic coworker, and certainly deserving of that accolade. So that's the business. So now I'd step away from that role for just a moment and talk about you guys. One of the scripts that we were offered was to talk about each individual, and I don't want to do that because I look at you as a class, and you're a fantastic group of individuals. Finding an outstanding student among you is, it's a challenge because you're all outstanding in your own way. What you've done, throughout the 2 years that I've had you, and particularly this year with the Durant Field project. I mean, you come in at 8 o'clock, Monday through Friday. You give up your flex day. You work a little later every day. Everybody is on the same page. Everybody contributes. Everybody works. What you do or do not know is kind of irrelevant. But the character that you've shown is really what makes you a person that's going to be successful no matter what you do. You're learning when it comes to carpentry as a continuum. You're starting here, you're going to go on, and you're going to pick up more things, or not. But the character that you've shown me over the years is something that you should be really proud of, and something that you're going to take with you and just make you successful throughout your entire life. I do have to mention, as you guys are all aware, and people in the audience, and this is where I'm taking a little bit more of my time, this is my last year. And you've really made it very special. And I thank you for that. I think back in my career, and I've had a number of really, really good students, but I can count on one hand the number of really, really good classes where everybody's engaged, everybody works hard, everybody contributes, and everybody has fun. And you are among that small cadre of classes that I consider just a really good group of people, and I thank you for that. With that said, very bittersweet experience for me, even more so since it's my retirement. Every year I lose students, but the nice side of it is I gain friends. So in the future, when I see you in the summertime and going forward, my name is Wayne, and please address me that way, because that's how friends greet one another. Thank you.
Well, the many stories that you heard from our instructors are hope, are memories that you take with you. Our next segment of the award ceremony is going to be our scholarship presentations. We are very fortunate at COT to have generous donors support our students for their future success. COT prepares our students for a career And for some, that means they need to go on to a 2 or 4 year college. Other students will join the military to pursue their field of study, while others will participate in apprenticeships or join the workforce directly. Our awards are not only monetary, but also in the form of tools that help our students. In order to be considered for a scholarship, students need to apply for the scholarships, meet the criteria of the donor that has been established by the donor, as well as financial needs. We have several this evening that we will be presenting, and COT, on behalf of all of us, are very appreciative for this support. Our first award is being sponsored by the Altrusa International. Altrusa is a service organization that was founded in 1917. The Biddeford Saco Altrusa was formed in 1976, and since that time has raised and distributed funds and provided services to schools, charitable organizations, and groups in the Biddeford, Saco, and Old Orchard Beach communities. This year, we are very fortunate that they have chosen COT to award the following students. William Harriman will receive a $1,000 scholarship. This will help him as he attends the University of Maine, Farmington. Brielle Eon receives a scholarship to go on to Southern Maine Community College, and she will be studying culinary arts. Jacob Poitouin will receive a $500 scholarship to attend Northern Maine Community College to study computer networking and cybersecurity. And lastly, from the Altrusa donation, Brian Perrault will receive tools as he pursues a career in the electrical field. The John Gelinas Memorial Scholarship is sponsored by the Gelinas family in honor of John Gelinas, a former COT student. 2 awards are given, one to a TA student and the other to a Biddeford High School student. Isabella White is the recipient from Thornton Academy for one of the first scholarships. The student selected from Biddeford High School is Alex McAlevey. The Cheryl D'Amico Scholarship is awarded in memory of Cheryl D'Amico, who was a graduate of our early childhood program years ago. This award goes to a student planning to pursue a career in education. This year's recipient is Catherine Holt. The Don Wilson Memorial Athlete Fund was established in memory of Don Wilson, a beloved legacy who was an industrial arts teacher, coach, assistant principal, and athletic director for 37 years at Biddeford High School. The fund was established by Don's family to support Biddeford student athletes. This year's recipient for the Don Wilson Award is William Harriman. For those of you, I'm sure folks are familiar with Pratt & Whitney, but they are in the aerospace industry and are strong supporters of tech schools. The following students, Silas Delano and Josh Paquette, are both receiving Pratt & Whitney awards. Josh is pursuing a degree in engineering, and Silas is pursuing a degree in metal trades as they go on. The Chad Dion Scholarship is sponsored by Chad Dion's family, a graduate of our automotive technology program, and this year's award is going to Skylar Lane, a current student in our automotive program and graduating, pursuing a 4-year degree at Maine Maritime. Again, a very large supporter in our community is the Saco and Biddeford Savings. The student receiving that scholarship this year is Saida Radar. Did I pronounce that correct? COT has had a very long history with the Biddeford Saco Rotary Club. The object of the Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal of service in our local community, as well as international service. This year's recipient to receive the Biddeford Soccer Rotary Scholarship is Caitlin Halley. The Nina Mary Brown Scholarship, sponsored by Nina Brown's brother Mark Brown and his family, is in memory of his sister, and this award is going to Catherine Twombly. The Michael William Langevin Scholarship is established by Mr. and Mrs. Langevin in the loving memory of their son, Michael William Langevin. Michael is a 2014 graduate of the Biddeford Regional Center of Technology and Biddeford High School. He successfully completed the program and received National Center for Construction Education and Research certificates in core curriculum Electrical 1 and Electrical 2 while he was with us at COT. Throughout his high school years, while taking these classes, he would work late afternoons and weekends as an electrician's helper, and during summers, he was able to work full-time. He really loved the career path he had chosen, and so he then applied and was accepted into the Southern Maine Community College Electrician's Technology Certificate Program. He worked days and weekends for St. Hours Electric and attended both afternoon and evening classes until he successfully reached his goal. His family is so proud when he graduated and received his certificate in the spring of 2017. Michael was an extremely hard worker who put his heart and soul into his job, and the passion he had for the career path he had chosen showed through his work. Because of generous donations from so many individuals who loved Michael, we are so proud to be able to carry on his legacy and offer other students the scholarship. We know that Michael would be proud of this as well. This year's award is going to Brian Perrault, who is pursuing a degree in electrical technology at SMCC. Boucher Electric is a local electrical firm that has also a long history with our schools and school department and sponsors a scholarship every year for a student pursuing a career in electrical. Brian Perrault is the recipient of the Gastron R. Boucher Excellence in Electrical Technology Award. Before I go on, I want to stress the importance of these scholarships. But more importantly is not the money that you receive, but the stories behind these scholarships, the family commitment to these scholarships, and the memory in which they are asking to live on. These scholarships have incredible meaning to the donors, and that should never be an oversight on our part or on the receiver's end. The following scholarship is a cluster, and I'm clustering them as the Chantigny Scholarships. In 1996, the first COT golf tournament was born to raise money for COT students pursuing post-secondary education. Lou Chantigny, many of you know, is the owner and former owner of TJ Pizza. TJ Pizza has been an incredible supporter of the Biddeford School Department, and many of you here this evening have experienced their monthly fundraisers that they have done for the schools through the years. Specific to COT, however, the golf tournament had sponsored scholarships specifically for COT students. The fundraising began following a conversation between Lou and the then director, Ron Gagnon, while they were on the golf field together. This was during a time when thinking that COT students did not go on to college. And that is so far from the truth, as you can see this evening. So, a cluster of scholarships are named in honor of those that have helped with the tournament through the years, and those family members loved deeply by Lou Chantigny. The first scholarship is in honor of his wife, Denise Chantigny. This scholarship goes to Dahlia Jordan. In honor of Lou's daughter, Tina Turgeon, Skylar Lane will be receiving that scholarship. Amir Saidametov is receiving the Jason Turigny Scholarship, Lou's son. The following scholarship is in honor of Ron Gagnon. He is the second director that has run COT and had considerable years here during its growth. That scholarship will be going to Malika Niev. The Chantigny Family Scholarship is a 2-year scholarship. This scholarship will be going to Josh McCauley, who will be studying engineering at SMCC. Nicolina Nikolic will be receiving the Ray Sear Scholarship. Jules Sylvia, Dutch Elm, which is where the tournaments were held year after year. Brielle Eon receiving the Don Eli Scholarship. And Amaya Libby will be receiving the Zibby Puglio Scholarship. If anyone has put on a golf tournament before, any fundraiser, you know that it's a lot of work and a lot of people involved to make it a success. And the Chantigny family has certainly made this cluster of scholarships successful for COT students in the present as well as in the future. The Mel Gay Memorial Scholarship is in honor of Mel Gay. He was the first director of COT. He opened our doors in 1969, and COT has been growing ever since. This year's recipient is going to Jacob Poitouin. The Larry Cody Scholarship is given in memory of Larry Cody, a beloved custodian and strong supporter of COT. This award is going to Callie Lovejoy. An annual scholarship is given to a COT student that also attends Biddeford High School and is an athlete. This scholarship is in honor of Kerry Anton, who was both a BHS student, COT student, and an athlete. This year's recipient is Renee Dutremble. Renee is planning to attend Endicott College in the fall. The Southern Maine Healthcare Visiting Nurses sponsor a scholarship in memory of Joanne Werber to be given to a student that is pursuing a career in nursing. This year's recipient is Emily Ely, who will attend St. Joseph's to pursue her nursing degree. The Gerard Chantigny Award is going to Jaron Durkee in memory of Gerard Chantigny. The St. Louis Alumni Scholarship is an annual scholarship given in memory of Marcel Fauchier, a former business teacher at COT. This year's recipient is Caitlin Halley. The Dick Lambert Fund is given by the Lambert family in loving memory of Richard Dick Lambert, who passed recently. Mr. Lambert's chosen career was to be a carpenter, and he pursued his education following his high school years by attending what is now known as Southern Maine Community College. The award is going to Andrew Sharon, a student in our residential carpentry program pursuing his studies at SMCC in construction management in the fall. The Bean family has sponsored the Thomas Bean Memorial Scholarship in memory of their son Thomas, a graduate of our engineering program. The purpose of this scholarship is to assist a Biddeford graduate who is interested in attending an accredited college, university, technical school, or apprenticeship program to improve the workforce skills, especially in the areas of need in the state of Maine. This year's recipient of the Thomas Bean Memorial Scholarship is Will Harriman. The following cluster of scholarships is sponsored by Deering Lumber and dedicated to the purchase of tools selected for students completing our residential carpentry program. The following students are Zachary Hayford, Quentin Mayotte, and Caden Neves. The following 4 scholarships are offered through our school through various fundraising efforts, including our vending machines, and are given to students pursuing a 2- or 4-year college degree. The following students are Owen Johnson, Emily Poisson, and Jared Savage, and Cody Savage. Our last award for the evening is a very special one. Every year, the 27 state directors of our tech schools choose one student out of all the students we have to be our school representative at our statewide celebration. We have about 8,000 CTE students in the state of Maine. And at COT this year, we've had a little over 400. It's a decision that I agonize over during the year. Because in my opinion, picking one outstanding student is not easy amongst all the students that we have at COT. Because I believe that the best and the greatest walk the halls at COT. However, I did have to make a decision, and I chose a student, and many of us know his familiar voice from morning announcements. He has been a lifesaver for me because it has helped me not have to hear Mr. Stebbins every morning doing morning announcements. I'm just kidding. That student is Matt LaFlamme. As a member of the Business Leadership Program, Matt was described by his instructor, Mr. Mayorino, that he's easily one of the most determined and motivated students that he knew. While the details to his assignment submissions are well thought out and thorough, it's the in-depth thought behind his questions and responses in class that are impressive. During his time at Biddeford Regional Center of Technology, he created an app allowing businesses to tell customers how many people are in their facility before customers decide to enter. Again, a pandemic focus. Matt initiated a meeting with the executive director of our local Biddeford Saco Chamber of Commerce to network with local businesses. This led Matt to work with our local public library, who showed interest in utilizing the app. Matt has not let the pandemic serve as an excuse to slow his passion for learning. As Matt said, it's been pretty challenging for me to stay positive and keep my head high. Even so, I'm proud to say that I bring my best effort to class every day and strive to immerse myself in learning as much as possible as to not waste the opportunity I have to take great business classes through BRCOT. Along with his work at the Center of Technology, he also has participated in other extracurricular activities, such as, but not limited to, the youth-led research team, and he was a leader for that team, Model UN team member, the Southern Maine Athletic Association all-academic team member. He achieved high honors. He has participated in varsity golf, varsity track and field. He is a National Technical Honor Society member. He's a volunteer computer programmer and was a journalist intern for the Biddeford School District newsletter. Matt will graduate with 15 college credits through YCC's in Business Studies, and his future plan is to attend University of New Hampshire to pursue a double major in general business and computer science. He envisions himself working at a startup that's doing something bold and innovative, where he can, in his words, quote, wake up excited to contribute to, close quote. Matthew, in honor of this selection of you being our COT Student of the Year, you also have been awarded the Melmac Scholarship to be used to pursue your post-secondary education. The Melmac Education Foundation was established in January 2001 as Maine's newest and largest foundation dedicated to advancing the cause of education for all Maine citizens. As we close this event, I have asked Matt to do the final words to all of you. Again, I want to thank all of the families, our sending schools, for sharing your students with us. I wish you the best. Be safe, good luck, whatever endeavors you pursue, and somewhere along your travels, please stop by and visit us at COT. May I now introduce to you our BRCOT Student of the Year, Mr. Matt LaFlamme.
All right, I just want to get up here and say a few words to the class of 2021. I want to congratulate you guys. This was undoubtedly one of the hardest years to finish off our senior years. It was definitely very hard socially and academically. Getting to class, being fully virtual, was definitely a challenge, but we got through it. And I just want to say it's incredible to look at the front of the COT and just to see all the signs, to see where everyone's going. We're all going different places. It's really exciting, and I hope that along the way our paths cross. So I just want to wish you guys an amazing 2021 and a great summer.